in our lives. I have a tiny little example of that. It was several years ago. I bought a brand new car. It was a Grand Jeep Cherokee. I loved this car. It was really wonderful. First brand new car I'd ever purchased. And the first thing that I discovered is that it had a squeak. And you know those squeaks, they're intermittent. They're not always present. So every time I took it into the dealership to deal with the squeak, it wasn't there. I'd be driving around, the squeak would come up, and I'd hurry over to the dealership and say, here's the squeak, and they'd get in the car with me, and the squeak would not be present. So after 7, 8 times of doing this, they said, we can take the whole car apart if you want. No guarantee that we'll get rid of the squeak or that we might make more squeaks. So I said, okay, I have to look at this differently. How do I take something like this and make it a spiritual, divine thing? And then I decided, okay, when I hear this squeak, that's God talking. So whenever I heard the squeak, I'd say, oh, there's God. God's talking to me. And then I'd listen to see if anything came to me. And if not, then I had always had plenty to tell God about. And so I'd start talking to God and explaining what was going on. And I found over time that whenever the squeak was coming up, it was almost uncanny. It was me going around in my thinking and rehashing and carrying on about this and that and whatever. And the squeak would come, and just like that, it would clear my mind. And I would open up to this opportunity to see whatever was in my mind in a more spiritual sense, a different perspective. I actually began to love that squeak, an opportunity to really talk with God. Eventually, over time, the squeak disappeared. I sometimes miss it,